It's time for Veterans Issues, the show that brings you information about veterans, military, and their family. Now here's your host, Ken Rollins.
Welcome to Veterans Issues. Can you get it out? Welcome to Veterans Issues, Ken Rollins. And we are brought to you by the Red, White, and Blue. Today we're going to talk about Reach Out International. We're going to be going way out of the area here. You need to find out about it. And get your pen. Be right back. Welcome to Veterans Issues. Today we're going to have the guests are Nancy Waters and Steve Waters. And we're talking about Reach Out International as opposed to Reach Out locally. But they do a great service for the community and all around. And we're going to talk to about some things that you might be interested in. And so let's welcome to the show, Steve. Oh, and wait a minute, we're going to do this right. We got to do this right now. Thank you. Nice to meet both of y'all here in this setting. I've met both of you before, and we meet at the strangest places too. I won't tell them where we've always been, but I did run into y'all, but shopping around. But anyhow, I don't either want to jump in on this, but reaching out internationally, it's kind of like we know what that term means, but what does it mean to you guys? What you're doing here, and tell folks what you do. Nancy, you want to say, or you want to?
Reaching Out International is a food distribution that we started about 5 years ago. We're a 501c3 and nonprofit, and we serve probably about close to 5,000 people a month.
Where do you get that food?
We get it from the food bank in Birmingham, and they get it, on the most part, from Feeding America.
Okay. How do you get down here, Steve?
Well, we also pick up locally from some of the retailers. I don't know if they want their names mentioned, but several.
Go ahead.
Sam's, Walmart, Aldi's, Publix, Little Caesars, Panera. And we pick up from them as well. And most of that is done through the cooperation with the food bank in Birmingham. They've made the contacts. There's certain requirements you have to meet, keeping the products, whatever it is. If it's frozen, frozen. If it's refrigerated, refrigerated. Produce and things like that, chilled so that they stay fresh for whoever you're going to be giving it to.
Well, I kept up with you over Facebook, just watching your, like Cleveland County and places like that, where you've shown some of the crowd of people that show up. How do they get that information that y'all going to be there? I mean, is it just by word of mouth or social media? How do you let people know where you're going to be?
Mainly on Facebook, but lately we've had a lot of help from the media. So that's helped a great deal. But word of mouth. And some of the pastors will blast out emails to the different churches and everything and let them know that we're going to be in a spot at what time and what date.
I noticed one you had recently had up in Zen Park in Anniston. And if I'm not mistaken, 10,000 pounds of food or something like that?
A little over.
Did I exaggerate? Or was that?
No, it was a little over that.
Really? And I saw people from all walks of life there. I didn't see. It was not a black, white, old, young. It was every mixture you could think of people that were there. Is there, when you say that you're going to be at a school or some place to give away the food, is there some kind of a documentation people have to have in order to receive it, or when they come up there that day, or what is the criteria?
We use a USDA form, and they have to fill that out. We actually don't check ID or anything. If they're on food stamps, they automatically qualify, and then there's different brackets for different amounts of money that they earn annually. But actually, we've never turned anyone away for food.
I'm going to be at the next one.
Okay.
No.
But we're going to have another food drop on the 26th of this month at Zen Park, and it'll be at 9:30.
26th
The
of
26th of May.
That's awesome. That's coming up on your Memorial Day weekend, and
Right.
I saw. You know what I thought about? When you think about Memorial Day, a lot of people, other than honoring the dead, you have barbecue and you have watermelon.
Yes.
And y'all gonna be giving out watermelon right before Memorial Day. Y'all didn't think about that, did you? So the reason I say that, when I saw you up in Zen Park, I saw just watermelon for acres looked like y'all had out there. Do you have one truck that brings vegetables? Did you give out other staples of food?
Right, and it depends on which type. We do recently we were doing 16 distributions a month. We have 3 counties, Randolph, Cleburne, and Clay. I'm sorry, Calhoun, of course. And depending on which of the drops that we're doing, some are open for just individuals. Some are open for individuals and other churches, and other ministries, or civic organizations, and that's what we do at Zen Park. That not only individuals, but organizations can come as well. We served over 967 that day in Zen Park.
Wow. And that, I saw, like I said, I saw them lined up, the young folks, and looked like young married couples or something like that, or single parents or whatever. But you said Panero. I mean, that's not vegetable and stuff. So you're giving out food that
Every kind imaginable. We have everything from filet mignon to a banana, and it's just it's incredible. We
Yeah, I
never
get-
know for sure what we're going to have, particularly when we do the gleaning program. That's from the local.
Kizzy back there in the control room. Would you put in the application to get them to come by here at TV 24 with them filet mignon?
But it's incredible. It's
You'll be getting a
all
memo.
from-
You'll be getting a memo from Kizzy back there. She's going some filet too. So.
All right.
But that's awesome. And you guys started this when?
About 5 years ago, before that, we had been doing international missions, leading teams primarily, but we fed people in the city dumps in Durango, Mexico, a lot of time in Peru. We went to Cuba several times. We had
Was
the
that
church.
for reaching out?
No,
Same-
that
same
was before
organization?
reaching out. That was before reaching out. We even did led a tour to Israel and did a day in a soup kitchen in Jerusalem. So we've done feeding programs of whatever kind in several different places around the world. But about 6 years ago, the Lord told us we needed to start viewing the United States as a mission field, that things were going to start getting tough. And so we did. We came in and started praying what to do. And one day our son, I don't know if you've met him, but you've met my father. They're born on the same day, just 70 years apart. They were riding around in Randolph County. And my son had been with us on those things, feeding people. And he said, "Granddaddy, there's got to be somebody here hungry." And Granddaddy, if you know him very well, he said, "No, son, there's nobody hungry here." He said, "No, Grandy, I've seen too much. I know there's at least one." So finally he said, "I know one man. I know one man that really needs some help." So they went and bought some groceries, took it to him, and asked him, "Do you know anybody?" And he said, "Yes, sir, I know 2 people." So they went and bought groceries. Well, make a long story short, in 2 months they were distributing to 40 people. And when that happened, we realized, okay, God, we hear you. And we did the 501c3, did all the paperwork necessary for the IRS, that kind of thing. Found a location where we could set up, and that was in Randolph County. It's a church that has a circle drive, let us come through. And we did that for 3 years, and then the food bank, we were very successful. The food bank asked if we'd move into Cleburne County. Now, at that time, we were only doing Randolph County. So last year we began in Cleburne County, and because they were considered a red area, they weren't getting enough food per the population. There's a formula they use. And that was very successful. We started distributing directly to apartment complexes at that time. Worked fabulously. We found many people that can't get out, the shut-ins, the elderly, veterans, that for whatever reason, they don't have families sometimes, and we've just been astounded at how necessary that was. Well, late 2015, the food bank asked if we would move into Calhoun County because it was in the same situation as well, with being a red county. So we've started in here now, and twice a month we do at least one distribution here. Now, again, we go through apartment complexes. We have a refrigerated trailer and a trailer with freezers on it. So we can take actual refrigerated product, frozen product, as well as shelf-stable, cans
Yeah,
and
let
so
me stop you there. We got to go to a break, come back. We're going to carry on more with Reaching Out International. Get that pen. I got a number for you. Welcome back to Veterans Issues. Now, we're talking with Nancy and Steve with the Reach Out International. We were talking about the local things we do here, they do here. And I want you to get that pen ready because these numbers, 256-310-3928 and 256-310-3918, if you'd like to be a part of this. Now, as we were talking about, you go to you start off in the church. This, Nancy, this is you're like a missionary. Is that the same feeling you have here when you do that?
Yes, definitely.
Because I know that, you said something about the veterans. Steve said something about the veterans. There's a lot of veterans in this area that are in need. I mean,
Yes.
just when you get out of service and you serve your time and you don't have a disability or anything like that, you have no income a lot of times. So I see a lot of veterans that are in need. In my little organization, we've helped a lot of them financially and otherwise, but just to having some food brought to them like that, and I just feel like, and the first thing, I had a question right here I wanted to ask you, is y'all get paid any?
Oh, no.
I wish. That's 100% volunteers. Everybody
Okay.
affiliated with the organization. Most of us are retired. Our son's in seminary, but most are retired, and it's all volunteer. No one makes anything off this. It costs us a lot, actually.
Yeah.
But we've been supported by the Community Foundation, United Way. They've been very good to us to help us out, but we need prayers, volunteers, and money. We need all the help we can
Well,
get.
when you see somebody go away with some food, there's payment. You can't
Oh, yeah.
you can't put that in dollars and cents. And I can feel, we do little things like pay it forward. So, well, y'all really paying it forward on that. When I talk about on here a lot about just that little couple of dollars somewhere at Dunkin' Donuts pay somebody, it just brightens their day. And
Absolutely.
you can imagine a woman having some kids and she's just making it from payday to payday and goes by there and sees all that, all the things y'all got. But can people, organizations donate to you guys and to make sure it gets to you is what I'm saying, not just goes to an organization?
No, it'll be here.
Because you know what I'm talking about. Some of the
sure.
organizations out there, I have people call me a lot, not that much, but a lot of times I get calls that I'm getting ready to make a donation and this group tells me they do this. Can you verify? So it has to do with veterans. And then we looked at what happened with Wounded Warriors here, where all those people were sucking the blood out of the
Right.
organization. I was so bragging on it, what great work it does. And come to find out, the big CEOs are the ones that are getting the money. So
Right.
this is good to know that you're doing it from your heart and God leading you to this. This is your church, ain't it?
Yes, definitely.
Oh boy, I tell you.
We had a little girl a couple of weeks ago. She came with her mother to the mobile pantry, and she looked up at her mother after they got their bags full, and she said, "This week we're going to eat, aren't we, Mama?" And that just break your heart.
So, I mean, I saw a lady at the coming out of the drugstore one day, and she says, just out of the clear blue, she said, "Well, I won't eat this week," and she's probably 80-something years old, and she just bought her medicine, and I won't eat this week, and that she had to make
See
a
a lot
choice
of
to
that.
get her medicine that, and that's the hurt that's going on out there that people don't realize that. Unfortunately, I get a lot of calls. I get a lot of.
bet you do.
I talk on here about the veterans that are taking their lives and stuff like that. That people are just at the end of people think this country is doing so great, but boy, just follow me like your son did. And he says, somebody's hungry over here. And then you find that out. As I'm sitting here within a quarter of a mile from me, there is a group of people under some trees, got tents in there, and they come and go, and they live under those trees. And the homeless veterans,
Yeah,
we did
yeah.
70% of them live in wooded areas. When we did a study, it's amazing what people, and we should not have anyone, when they were talking, y'all might see me fussing on Facebook about the prison, $800 million prison, and we got kids that can't get Medicaid. They're going hungry tonight.
Right.
Imagine in the state of Alabama, a child getting a piece of cheese, if he can get that, that's the only thing they get when my cupboard's full.
Right.
And we're sitting there thinking like that tonight, and we got people in the state of Alabama that are hungry. And maybe the people that show up for y'all are not that hungry, but they need something a little stable. What are some of the foods you pass out that you have a chance? I know you talked about the stores, but what are the type foods?
Everything imaginable. Fresh fruits, vegetables. At the Zen Park, where we dropped over 10,000 pounds, it was cabbage, carrots, onions, potatoes, and cantaloupe. And then the next time it was watermelons and zucchini and cucumbers and green beans. And so on those, it's huge quantities of those, and the food bank brings them in refrigerated trucks for us and delivers that to us. But two programs I'd like to mention right quick if I forget.
Sure.
We also provide children in schools, they call it backpack buddies. It's not backpacks anymore, but children that for whatever reason don't have food on the weekend. There's lots of different reasons. I'm not throwing stones.
Yeah.
And we don't even know who they are. The school identifies who they are and how many there are. and we provide that to them. And we do 30 a week. But we've recently been asked to do, how many was it?
80.
80 additional, and we just don't have the money. If you run the numbers on that, 80 times 5 and $5.50 each, and then times 38 weeks, that's a lot of money, and we just don't have the money to do that. If anybody's interested, I mean, there's children going hungry on the weekends today, identified by the counselors in the schools, that we just can't supply because we don't have the money. But also, you're talking about the veterans. This is really important, that there's so many that, just as you were describing, they don't have a traditional address. But if you know of them, we can make arrangements where you can pick up food for them and take it to them. So if you know of somebody that for whatever reason can't get to us, we'll work with you and make arrangements so that they can get some food. So please, just contact us, reach us on Facebook, those numbers, anyway. We're here to help.
So that's great. I can imagine, these kids, like you said, the reason they're going hungry on the weekend is they get their nourishment at school.
Exactly.
But at home, for whatever reason, like you said, these kids are, let's hurry and get back to school so I can eat. That's awful.
That's exactly
That's awful.
so.
And then when school's out, what happens?
That's exactly, and that's a big problem that Nancy's been working on, trying to figure out some way during the summer, because as I said, we're already working with 30, and we've been asked to knock it up to 8, an additional 80, and we just don't have the funds to do it. We have to pay for most of the fuel ourselves. It's daunting to try to. Once we got into this, it's a lot bigger situation than we even realized.
501c3,
Yes.
not for profit. Can you give a company a receipt
Oh, 100%.
or a
Yes.
person
Absolutely.
if they want to come in and make
Absolutely.
a financial donation?
Absolutely.
Because I found the companies, the people that's watching here in the business world, it's a lot better for them to write you a check if they trustworthy and they
Right.
get a receipt rather than trying to go out and buy all this. Now you mentioned Panera Bread. They give you the bread. Is that
Right. Exactly.
Because they're not going to serve the same bread tomorrow that
Exactly.
they cook today. That's
And it's
great.
the same way with Sam's,
I won't be down there when
Walmart.
y'all get it, and I'm gonna grab me a couple. Hijack you.
Come see us sometime. We'd love to have
I'm
you.
gonna follow you around.
I'm going to start taking
Good.
pictures of all the veterans caps that come. You made me think of that. We have a lot that come through,
That's great.
with Army, Navy, whatever, Vietnam vets, different stuff on their caps. I'm going to start doing that. That's
You
it.
thank them for their service.
Absolutely.
No, you do.
You know my dad,
Absolutely.
Yeah. His dad's been on here a couple of times, and he's coming back in June. I hope he's back on here again. 94, 95?
95 this year.
95 years old. And I want to kick him on the leg sometimes. He walks better than I do.
I tell him it's
He's
not
got
fair.
such a memory on that guy. But we've run out of time. It's out the control room. Tell me where we are. I don't know if we got. Oh my goodness, I've run out of time. Y'all done talk too much.
I'm sorry.
But will you come back again and update
Anytime.
again when we give out
Anytime.
150,000 pounds? Thank you for this.
Thank you, Ken.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Sorry about reaching
so
across
much.
you there, Nancy.
That's okay.
Appreciate you. We got to go to a break. I come back. I got news that you can use. Stay right there. Welcome back to Veterans Issues. Ken Rollins here, and we had a great guest today, Steve and Nancy, coming in and talking about some great work in the community. And if you can help out on that, you warm your heart. That's a paying it forward big time right there, folks. And especially with summertime coming and knowing that these kids are going to be out of school and to help them with that program, get a phone call to them and say, I would like to help. What can I do? And if you've got some way that you can help feed the hungry, that's what it's about. And what a mission. And I wanted to say this too. I dog a lot of my friends who are in different churches, and they take off on these mission trips, and they go to South Dakota, North Dakota, to Kentucky, and places like that, and they fix up the churches and the homes. They put roofs on them, and they drive right out of their own neighborhood with the roofs falling off of their neighbors' houses and stuff. I don't let them slide. I get on to them about that, because we got it right here in our home. And what Steve and Nancy's talking about, we found it right here in our area that there's a need. And so next time your church group's thinking about going on a mission trip, talk to them like I do. Say, what about the people here locally? Let's see if we can't find some roofs that need repairing around here. Law Enforcement Week, that's where we are, folks. This Friday, the 13th. If you're watching the show on Saturday, you already missed it, but it's the 13th at 12 noon. We're going to unveil the Alabama Law Enforcement Memorial. It's at 17th and Quintard here in Anniston, Centennial Memorial Park. It's the official memorial for all law enforcement officers who died in the line of duty. 537 names are going to be on that wall, and it's going to be It'll be built and unveiled at noon on the Friday the 13th. And the way we built it, the way we got the funds was from this law enforcement tag that I tell you about every week. The revenue from this tag is what built this memorial. And we just about got it completed. We'll probably finish it. As I'm taping today, we'll be finishing it tomorrow. So if you you're getting ready to purchase a tag, and this is a great option because it goes with every kind of vehicle you got. You do not have to be in law enforcement. And if you see this tag with the shield and the rose on it, that's a symbol that of a fallen law enforcement officer. So when you're demonstrating and you're expressing your concern for the law enforcement out there, and you're remembering those who have died in the line of duty by presenting that tag on your car. So think about that the next time you do it. Now, a lot of you have kept up with me on this Facebook thing about the $800 million prison that escalated to $1.5 billion. Senator Dale Marsh, I'm going to give him kudos on this. Senator Marsh removed that from the bill in conference in the Senate, and it went to the House. They cut it down to two prisons, $5 and something million. I don't know what the numbers were, but the money was, instead of coming from the veterans, was going to come out of the ABC, the Alcohol Beverage Control, and that died in the House in a filibuster. So it's coming back. We feel like the governor is going to call a special session. I need you to stay tuned. If they go back after the veterans funds, you'll hear it right here on the TV 24, and I appreciate you, everybody that made the calls. Let's see if we got time for anything else. I don't know. Okay, let's see. They're telling me in the control room that I'm down to about 2.5 hours left. Not really, but I wish I did. I wish I did. Now, this thing coming up this week for the law enforcement is if you want to help with build these memorials, and not just for law enforcement, for Iraq and Afghanistan veterans, is you can send your donation to P.O. Box 1826, the Community Foundation, P.O. Box 1826 in Anniston 36202, and put some memorials on the bottom of the check, and that's tax deductible too. And let's see what else we got here. We're running out of time, doggone it. I hate that because they need to give me about 2 hours here. But anyway, we've got unserviceable flags. Take them up to next to Rite Aid there on 15th Street, and there's a place there for your unserviceable flags. And this week's salute goes out to all those who have purchased that tag that we just showed you. And we'll see you next week right here on Veterans Issues. Salute. We're out of here.